Hello, everybody. How you doing? So, just jumping into this, this was a promo for MJF with Lord William Regal center stage. And when he gets down there, MJF, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, how we going to do this? Because as much of a villain as he is, he's also, how can I say this? He's also starting to flounder. And it seems like they're trying to tease a possible face turn. And here's what people don't understand when it comes to professional wrestling. There are, and I hope I'm not spilling the beans on what he's probably going to do, which if he does, it'll be great. But simply putting, there are multiple levels and types of heels out there.
Yes, they are.
Lost to the annals of time. You know, people are spot monkeys. They want to see the next move, not the next person.
Or it's always the sniveling heel. That's always the go-to.
That's the go-to, and that's what they get to see. I'm not going to wrestle you now. I'm never going to do this. We're going to leave. You know, you robbed me. You robbed me. Yeah. Okay. No. MJF might be doing a transformation into an even viler heel. You know, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because right now what MJF has to do is get the crowd to burn off their cheers for him. They have to burn it off. Wrestling is so, the crowd is the indictment on this. They're the ones that are the litigators here. They're the ones that's putting it down. They're lawyering up. They are presenting the evidence for everyone to understand and make their judgment. Because MJF, people hate. They booed. He had achieved super heel stardom, which is kind of what you want. But then everything happens. It blows up. Everyone figures out this will work. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. But there is no professional wrestling. It's pretty much just a South Park episode where everyone is talking and talking and talking. But instead of overt verbiage, they're doing it with their moves, because their moves do a lot but accomplish nothing. And that, if you don't understand that, watch a match. A move that should knock someone out, real life, on the street, if it should knock them out, it don't. That's why I call the super kid a foot jab, because it don't do anything. So they realize that. They know that. MJF left being booed, but MJF also left being cheered because he cut that real life promo. Mm-hmm. The best comedians in the world, here and posthumously, have all done great because they use real life in their routine. Uh-huh. MJF has learned that, and that's what he did. And that is, he called Tony Khan, you fucking mark. Cut the mic. But that was after blistering the audience.
Yes.
He blistered them. They had sun welts on them that's still bleeding today. Mm-hmm. And yet, when he comes back, they cheer. Are they masochists? I don't know. An emotional masochist? Could be. But they cheered the villain. They cheered him, calling himself, in this religious South, the devil. They will drink my spit and worship at my feet. He told the crowd how miserable and weak and stupid they are, and they cheered them like Springfieldians or something.
The thing is, what you already know, is that MJF is able to do something that they don't normally experience in life. He provokes emotion out of them. They can't just sit there and, oh, they flipped, yay! Oh, they fucked up, you fucked up. All that shit is programmed.
Yep, that legit programmed.
All of that is programmed. But when he comes out there and talks, and what's the other one? CM Punk does it too.
Yep.
When they come up out there and talk,
Bryan Danielson could do it, but I think he's lost that touch.
He garners an emotional response from them that is against their will. It gets to something deeper than the spot monkeys, social media, YouTube, garbage wrestling programming they've become accustomed to.
They don't drink the sand because they're told to. They drink the sand because they don't know the difference. Y'all know what that movie, from what movie that's from. E-cookies galore for you.
E-cookies. You get the whole bag of E-cookies.
Yep. Matter of fact, if you know what that's from, you let us know in the comment section on Spreaker or YouTube, and let us know your channel that you do, and we'll plug it for you. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right. So, you got into the end of the month. You know, that's fair. That's fair. To the end of the month. So, here's the thing. Let's fast forward. MJF, he comes out and he cuts this epic real life promo on William Regal. And the reason he has to do it is because, one, this stuff has been uncovered. So now he's got to, he's going to use that. But here's the thing. While Regal, the week before, Regal comes out, makes the save very slowly with the brass knuckles. Okay, fine. And then MJF backs off. So now, okay, it's going to be a confrontation. So let's see what happens, right? Mm-hmm. So MJF comes out and he cuts an epic promo that gets me. See, I believe in MJF. I know he's real, and there are points where he cuts off that realism. And this promo was so to the heart, just like the last one. The quote unquote, what they would call a pipe bomb. I don't know. But the one before he got, sent away for a little bit, his hiatus.
Yeah.
For his honeymoon and all that stuff. What he did here is he got so real, so honest, that he himself had to force himself to not cry. He was pissed. Mm-hmm. He was hurt. And William Regal, I like his mannerisms. Where are you going with this? What are you doing? Oh, I see. Oh, it's this. Oh, you're going there. Oh, so what you going to say now, sunshine? You could see those things on his face. It was real. I've seen William Regal do promos, and I've seen him listen to people give promos. These expressions are none of those. None of those. You can tell it wasn't a work. He's curious. And Regal didn't break a sweat. He did not a beautiful, perfectly placed hair fell out of line.
Okay.
William Regal listened, and Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, he got the crowd behind him. Oh, the sympathetic 1980s TV shows. Aww. That was a legit moment. Mm-hmm. This ADD Jew boy, 5'0" was going to finally get his shot. And man, he turned the crowd on the beloved Regal. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Regal had to find a way to wriggle himself out of it.
Yes, he did. And that's exactly what he did.
He pulled corporate speech with, oh, but you didn't try hard enough. Well, look at how I had to grow up. And he shot back on him. That's a shoot, what Regal was saying. That's a shoot. That's how that was. And a lot of people were ashamed that they even had to do stuff like that in certain places. Even here in the United States, stuff had back in the 60s, 50s, and extreme early 80s. Stuff like that was happening. You want to get into business, and you can be 15, but if you look 18 or 19, good. Mm-hmm. Put you behind the mask. Just say they're in their 20s, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Stuff
like that. Okay? So he shot back on him. And you can see he gave MJF pause. But MJF, you could also see where he was like, oh, you're so full of shit. But also, this part is true. You look at their faces, you can see, that's bullshit, but maybe a truth. You're just conning your way out to, oh crap, really? And then Regal's like, basically, I'm an old school villain. That's me. We do things a certain way. And he told him right there, you broke a code. You touched Shivani. Was it a working way? Yeah, Shivani couldn't work with it. Granted, but they use it as a shoot. And so it's like, you don't do that. You don't put your hands on the one who holds the microphone. You don't do that. And, good grief. Can you imagine someone interviewing somebody on the football field and then, one of the players just tackles the announcers like, you don't ask questions like that.
That'd be crazy.
It would be nuts.
It would be crazy.
Flag on the play. Up, he went over there and punched the referee. That's no.
Can I jump in?
Jump in, baby. The pool is warm.
So MJF lays out this promo, a highly emotional promo. Outlining how Regal fucked him over. Okay, you're doing real good. I see something in you, but you're too young. So what I want you to do is to go home and every month send me a tape with a match and a promo.
I won't go mention that for certain reasons, but go ahead, love.
He said he wanted him to do that essentially for 2 years because the boy was 19. Do that, and then when you reach of age, meaning 21, then I can get you a job here in WWE.
That means a tape a month for 36 months, basically, give or take.
24.
Yeah. But you know how people are. It probably would have been about 4 more years before they gave a damn.
But just based on his words.
Yeah,
That's
his word.
Said, which is what he had to go on. And so after the third month, Regal blew him off. Oh, I get so many tapes. I expect to see better out of you. Don't waste your time. Thanks, William Regal. He blew him off.
Yep.
Okay.
And Regal was holding back. Regal was embarrassed.
He should have been embarrassed. And what Regal did in a villain fashion basically made him say, oh, because I did that, I helped make you who you are today.
Now that's villainy.
That's villainy.
But when Regal started basically baring his teeth and stuff, you could see it. Like, he was embarrassed and he's fighting through it. I've seen that before. I have seen that with a few people before. When I would have to say certain things and they have to and you can't do anything because if you attack, you look weak. So they got to literally, that's why they say grin and bear it. Mm-hmm. And Regal was showing that. And I was like, whoa, he got him. Mm-hmm. I was like, he
definitely got him.
That's how I saw that. Keep going.
And then he goes on saying that, going over you don't touch the person with the microphone, you don't attack Shivani. But if you want to be a devil, here's your chance. And he turns his back. Yep. Giving him being MJF, the opportunity to attack Regal. MJF doesn't do it. And he tells him, oh, you're not ready. You still have stuff to prove.
Yeah, because he didn't do it. Now, here's the thing. That's that crap like, hey, I just talked down to you after clearly I've hurt you. But if you want to be a real man, or in certain cases, a real woman, or a real whatever it's going to be, go ahead and do this. Take your shot. And if you do take that shot, then you become a villain, but in the wrong light. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, then you're a punk. You're weak. He can't win. He can't. And Regal knew that.
He set him up for him to be in a no-win situation.
Because if he hit him, it'd have to be. I just want to be real about it. If he hit him, it'd have to be a shoot. It would have to be a shoot, and he'd have to hit him, and that's going to be real bad. Mm-hmm. He can't win.
And if he did hit him, he's beating up on this retired old man who isn't actively wrestling anymore. And on top of that, here's the real. MJF wants to be the champion. MJF is going to be the champion.
Oh yeah, that's in the contract.
Yeah, exactly. Not because anything that's going on in these promos, because that was probably part of him walking his ass back into the company.
Yep.
But that aside, he gets nothing out of attacking Regal.
Nothing.
Regal ain't got the belt.
Nope.
Now, what I said right after the promo is what he needs to do, he being MJF, he needs to go and annihilate everyone of merit or standing in the Blackpool, what is it?
Combat Club.
That's what he needs to do. No, not in the match. He need to go and catch him and fuck him up. He need to jump him. He need to jump him and grind him in the meat paste.
Yep.
And leave the whole BCC laying.
Tell him.
That's what he need to do.
That woman's a genius.
Because if he wants to solidify some heeldom, that would be because you be out healing Moxley. I guess Moxley here. I don't know what the hell Goon is.
Wrestlers don't know how to be heels and whatnot. They just know how to be tough guys.
But and Goon being, we call Moxley Goon. Goon's got the title. So you need to put a special ass whooping on him.
He's not interim. He is it.
He's always talking about, I want to bleed. We got to shed blood. Give him what he's asking for and a little bit more.
Yep.
Send him home with it.
Beat him at his own game. Garbage yourself up just to destroy him for that belt. And then after that, show him how wrestling is really done.
That's what he needs to do. He needed to eliminate Wheeler's ass. Because the Wheeler
was the beginning. He's going to get up there. He's got to go to the others.
And Bryan Danielson, he done got nerfed.
Yep.
And then he can, step on Moxley's neck and take the title. And then hold it for a while. Now he can do whatever dastardly deeds he wants to do to hold on to it. Because MJF does that shit real well. Mm-hmm. But he needs to hold that belt for a while.
And not cater to these people out there that's like, you know what, this person's been champion too long. We need somebody else. I
don't that shit. He needs to hold it at least until CM Punk comes back. And then that would be a pay-per-view.
Yep, but then beat him too.
And then beat him, yes. And then beat him. If you want to get butts in seats and eyes on screens, you do that at a fucking pay-per-view, not some super special Dynamite Battle of the Belts. No.
You need a major pay-per-view. Okay, let me throw it out there. Okay, let me just do this because Tony Khan ain't bright. All right?
No, he's not.
He's not bright. He just got money.
He's rich, but he's not bright. Go figure.
So, anyone listening, put your ear right up on this. Hear me out.
Right in your ear hole.
AEW, just like anybody else, want to have their WrestleMania stuff, their moments, right? No doubt. But you need something of that type of, not venue. You don't need the venue. You need the prestige. WrestleMania started with nothing. It almost bankrupted the WWF at the time. All right. Keep that in mind. The only reason WrestleMania built up because they put in the stars to open the show, midway through the show, these outside vocalists and whatnot. And it's like, man, who are they going to have this year? Yada, yada, yada. So that's what they did. They headlined it with title matches that the fans wanted to see for the longest before it was that person's time to end. AEW, what they need to do, pick a month. Wipe out a pay-per-view. Just kill it. It don't need to be there anymore if it doesn't have to be. But pick a month. Make up the name of a pay-per-view. Okay? Or premium show. No matter what it is. But people are going to buy into it. And you make that show the only 3-hour show while all your other pay-per-views are 2 hours. That's what you need to do. Make this 3-hour. And it settles a lot of things while starting new things. And that's where you headline your biggest legitimate matches. When I say legitimate, it's not about a shoot. It's about the match being worthwhile. Wrestling, not garbage. Professional wrestling at its finest.
With moves being done that make sense, that look like they're causing damage.
It needs to, if anything, if it has to, because of the way everyone else is going to work, It needs to bury all the other matches. And all the other matches do not need to have any element in there that main event is going to have. And you need to have throughout the year, even if Punk come back, MJF hold that belt. And he defends it every month, on time, every time, against anyone. He runs through the roster. He runs through the roster. MJF, if he's smart, he will build a small, controllable sized faction around him that won't quit, of the finest professional wrestlers, the ring generals in that company that can call a match on the fly if they have to. That's what he will do. That's what needs to happen. And you need to have MJF defend it. And when that time comes around, he done beat everyone, but he makes sure that he beats them, showing that he was about to be beat. That's what you do. That's how you make sure someone doesn't look like some unbeatable juggernaut. It's like they could have won, but, and you showed this, and he beats Punk twice. 2 more times. He's got up on Punk. Punk works out. He rejuvenates himself. He gets him ready for this pay-per-view at whatever time it's going to be. And he's finally ready. It's the main event. You bring in the special ring announcers. You do that. You bring them in. You make it look like a complete legitimate fighting event. You know how wrestling used to be? And then they have their match. Does it need to be an hour? No. Anything over 15 minutes. That's it. That's really all it needs. But it needs to be at their whatever pace or whatever dictation that they want it to be. Hot, heavy, fast paced, don't matter. Slow, methodical, build up. There are various ways to build a match, but you don't have to start off with the big moves and whatnot. And if you do, make sure they know how to build up from that and save time and make sure that the person like they should have died on the way. And that's when you can have Punk defeat MJF for the biggest pop in wrestling history in the past 20 years. Because he would have earned it, deserved it, and people be wondering if he could even do it. And then he finally do it and dethrone the most villainous person in the history of that company. Bam. How hard is that?
Not hard at all.
And now you've got your whole pay-per-view on the spot. It's ready. That's when it happened. And Punk will hold that belt for a long time. Maybe until the next one or the one after that. And he can defend that belt every other month as villains come and villains go. And then it could be MJF or a new villain that takes it. But no one else in MJF's area is going to take it because they work for him. It's not hard. It's not hard, people. It really isn't. Sometimes the greatest creativity comes from being less creative. You know? This promo that MJF cut, it was a great promo. Regal did a great job covering his ass, trying to save face. He put MJF in a no-win situation. Do you know why MJF did this whole promo? Do you know why it lasted so long? Because he wanted to prove that what he could give the gift of gab and keep people far more interested in him talking than a whole bunch of people getting in that ring, spot monkeying it up for the same amount of time. And he did it. And he does it every time. And he makes you feel instead of dropping somebody on their head. That's what he does. So, hey, that was our take on that promo for MJF, William Regal. Hope you enjoyed it. Check us out on Spreaker. Check us out here on YouTube. We'll be doing stuff like this because it'll be a lot easier for us picking out stuff that we like instead of just having to talk over the stuff that, and whatnot. Because I don't want to sit here and just naysay something all day. I want to get up here and talk about stuff that I do like. You know, so honestly, the shout out and thanks go to you, Zimmo Times 2, for giving me that great advice a while ago. So with that, see you next time.